Welcome to Kidmissing TV. I am so sorry this video once again is a day late. I don't know why I can't keep myself organized in my brain to do these things when I'm supposed to. Yeah, I have a lot going on, but at the same time, doggone it, remember to do your videos. It's the middle of the night last night. Oh no, I didn't put up the Kidmissing video. Anyway, this is the case of the Wise family murder and kidnapping. On the 30th of March 1977, Beverly Wise was murdered. And the suspect is her ex-husband, Roy Albert Summers. This was in Del Rosa, San Bernardino, California. 2 of her 3 daughters, Tiffany Wise and Brandy Summers, were abducted. Stacy Wise, just 8 months old, was left behind. Eight persons were charged in this case. The girls have said to have been seen with a Mr. and Mrs. Kasner, a Mr. and Mrs. Iwakiri, Roy Summers, Karen Summers, Carino Maston, Sherilyn Summers, Bly Beer Cordes, and at various other locations in Idaho, Nevada, and California. San Bernardino Police Department messed up, allowing the girls to be shuffled around. The lead investigator was corrupt and disgraced, and resigned in disgrace. Now, Brandy Summers had cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis is a respiratory disease. It starts in young childhood, usually. Excuse me. Haven't had anything to drink yet. And it causes an excess of mucus production. There are genes involved. And this mucus is very thick and sticky. So they have to have a lot of nebulizer treatments. They have to have chest PT, which is chest physical therapy, where they have to have a lot of times a feeding tube, because they don't absorb nutrients as well, because it affects their digestion as well. And the test for it is actually a test for salt on the skin. An excess amount of salt on the skin. I was actually tested for it as a baby. Tested negative. Thankfully, I wouldn't be here at my age, because typically this is a life-limiting disease. So typically, with cystic fibrosis. People don't live, they say into their teens, but treatments are better now, so they're living to around 30 or so. I've heard of people living as old as 35, but that's about it. That's the high end with today's better treatments. But they require constant care. They're very medically fragile. So it is assumed that she has died. The girls were split up, and she was last seen in the care of the Kasners. Tiffany Wise is thought to have had her name changed or was adopted and has assumed another name and is living within one of the involved families. Roy Summers was married 7 times and was arrested on numerous occasions for assaulting his wives and others. He was an alcoholic who became violent when he drank. That's common. And he actually was not convicted. He and other parties sued the San Bernardino Police Department for $18 million for malicious prosecution and settled the lawsuit for $400,000. They know in the summer of 1977 that Juanita Iwakiri, contacted an Idaho adoption attorney, Robert Aldridge of Boise, about adopting the girls, Tiffany and Brandy, because she felt her sister, Vivian Kasner, and Roy Summers were unfit or unable to care for Brandy, who required, as I said, special medication and medical care. She further stated the opinion that her sister's boyfriend, Roy Summers, was violent and may harm the girls. The attorney did not participate. And he actually testified under oath to a grand jury. Okay. After that, Juanita is thought to have dropped the girls off at the community health clinic, the Terry Riley Clinic, located in Nampa, Idaho, where Brandy was attending special education classes and possibly receiving medical care from a Dr. Clarence McIntyre and Dr. Bob LeBeau. Again, these are all from Lawyer Aldrich's testimony. Okay. When Mrs. Y's husband, father of the other 2 children, one that was taken and one that wasn't, came home, he found his wife brutally murdered, his baby all by herself, and his other daughter gone. I can't imagine what that did to Mr. Wise. I can't even... Beverly was just 26 years old. She and Summers were divorced in 1971, and she married Claude Wise in June of 1973. Roy Summers and Lee Kasner were charged with numerous felony counts related to this murder and kidnapping, as were others. But again, they were found not guilty. Claude is now retired and lives in Southern California. He took the other two girls so they couldn't testify about who killed their mother because they could talk. The girls' grandmother, Donna Marie Howlett, their paternal grandmother, moved heaven and earth to try to find them, because Claude Wise thought of Brandy Summers as his daughter, and he had her from an extremely young age, and his mother thought of her as her granddaughter. So, and she spent hours and hours and hours at court hearings and trials, and at the age of 82, she still continues to seek the whereabouts of Tiffany and Brandy. On October 28, 1982, the jury verdict in the case is read not guilty. Claude Wise stands up and yells, "I'm going to get you, Summers." And about 2 years after that, he was arrested in Oregon for the attempted murder of his seventh wife, Ella Mae Kohler. And unfortunately, the girl's property that was found in his home, in his storage unit, wasn't properly inventoried by the Riverside Police Department, nor was it asked for. If it had been, the feeling is he would have been convicted. This is what was found. Suitcases with articles of Tiffany and Brandy's clothing, a medical book, mother's and father's medical encyclopedia for whatever reason, the little girl's prescription bottles, a special prescription for digestion in CF patients, a cassette tape of Roy talking to a girl he addressed as John Dell, which is the last name. These items were stolen from the home murder scene on the day of the murder and found in Roy and Ella Kohler's home in November 1979. Well, there'll never be justice in this case because Unfortunately, we have double jeopardy laws in this country. Or fortunately, depending on how you feel about that. Excuse my cough. But yeah, so he can't be retried, unfortunately. I'm not even sure if he's still alive, honestly. Girls are adults now, so you would think that at least Tiffany would start asking some questions, start looking, maybe do a DNA test. Brandy, I'm sure, is not alive. She was kidnapped in 1977 with cystic fibrosis at, I don't know, age 4 maybe? And probably, well, that's beyond the life expectancy for anyone with CF, so. Like I said, average life expectancy is late teens, early 20s, but it's gone up to about 35 if you're getting really good care. So. Thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. I will see you next time, right here on Kid Missing TV. Bye, guys.